Howdy, howdy, everybody. Welcome back to the Adequate Rejects. And this week's topic, we're going to talk about underrated or overlooked movies of 2014. So
there was a lot.
Yeah, there was a lot. This was a great year for film, but it was also a great year for, I would say, cult classics, or soon to be cult classics, wouldn't you say? Like,
agreed.
Lots of hidden gems.
Very
surprising.
Especially in genre film.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah, definitely. Yeah. So, the first film we're going to talk about is Chef. So, Chef.
Oh, Chef. Basically what Chef is, it's basically about this chef, played by Jon Favreau, who's been working at this like top-notch cafe for quite a while, and he has an estranged relationship with his son, and eventually this food critic, he does what critics do and lashes out on him on Twitter. He gets a Twitter. There starts to become a Twitter war between them, and he gets mad and basically gets fired and quits, or quits, sorry. And what happens is this critic lights a fire under him to become sort of, he wants to go back to his past and get this food truck and at the same time reconnect with his son.
It's like it's a revenge movie, but it's about cooking. it's basically, but it's also food porn. The movie, like,
if you have not eaten before you've seen this movie,
I was so
you're gonna
hungry.
regret it. You're gonna regret it because
it's
the
all
food in this movie,
yeah.
even if you don't like what's on the screen,
it's all home.
It is filmed
like,
amazingly.
It's like fresh food, and it's just it makes you want to go around the country and try all the different foods. Like, after we saw it, remember, we all started going around town looking for local restaurants, trying to find which one's the best one.
Certainly.
And we've been doing that for like a month. So.
Yeah.
Well, aside from the culinary artistry of the film, the real artistry, I think, is that it's Jon Favreau's manifesto of what it means to be an artist, to truly express yourself within the blockbuster system.
Oh, yeah. This film, you can clearly see Jon Favreau's career paralleled with the character in the film, and his character
is Marvel.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
And like starting on the top with like his Iron Man and everything, and Iron Man 2, and then him like just kind of
digressing into
indie
Cowboys
films,
and Aliens, yes,
and like personal passion stuff, and it's just I love the film because I love feel good films, so this made me feel good and. Up there and in here, because
it's like it's one of those, like, you have a constant smile on your face, like,
yeah, pretty much.
Even though like there's depressing elements, like with like the little kid, his dad is very absent for the majority of his life up until they have that summer trip, but it's like you have this constant smile and growling in your stomach when you're watching it, and it's very rare that you have a film capture all those good moments, you know what I mean? It's like, there's a very select few, like a lot of Cameron Crowe movies do it.
Right.
But, like, your Jerry Maguire's You're Almost Famous and stuff like
Your
that.
certain Ron Howard movies.
Right, definitely, yeah. It's very family-oriented in a very different way, but it's also very deep, and I really enjoyed that.
Well, it's definitely an R-rated film.
Oh, definitely, yeah. It's like,
and for me, it had a lot of similar beats to Favreau's first screenplay, Swingers. And
see, I haven't seen Swingers yet.
Okay, fair enough. But yeah, it's sort of, Chef to me is a throwback to like his indie past before he became like the big Iron Man director and whatnot, and so that's why I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, all right. Well, if you haven't seen Chef,
definitely
give it a
check
shot.
it out.
Yeah.
It's actually on Netflix.
Oh yeah,
so that's how we saw it.
Yeah.
Bon appetit.
All right.
For
our next film we're going to talk about is Tom Cruise's Edge of Tomorrow.
Edge of Tomorrow.
Live and repeat.
The invasion will fail, along with every soldier you are sending. We lose everything.
Well,
oh my God. It's Edge of Tomorrow. It was All You Need Is Kill, then it was Edge of Tomorrow, and now it's Live, Die, Repeat, Edge of Tomorrow.
I think one of the reasons why the film didn't do so good is because of the marketing campaign.
It's one of the worst marketing campaigns I have ever seen in a film.
Yeah, the name changed like 3 or 4 times, and the trailers made it look very hokey in a way.
Bland.
Kind of bland.
It made it look like a typical Tom Cruise action.
Yeah, it's like Tom Cruise film #1, or Tom, like just generic and that. But this is actually one of Tom Cruise's best performances, in my opinion, because it's not Tom Cruise playing the typical badass. He's a coward the majority of the film, and the whole film is about him learning how to become this badass war hero, so he can keep the human race alive and save the day.
Right.
Because normally in Tom Cruise, you're like, oh, it's just Tom Cruise doing his thing, or it's Lex Grossman from Tropic Thunder, and that's a rare performance of his. But it's like with Edge of Tomorrow, it's Groundhog Day meets Aliens meets Saving Private Ryan, and it's like,
well, that's the thing about it, is that I think what's really great about the film is it gets an actor who's mostly known for action films, puts him in an action movie situation, but doesn't let him be an action hero yet. And you're watching Tom Cruise play this coward. It's more like a sci-fi Red Badge of Courage.
Oh, yeah.
Which I think is really cool. And yeah, it's just lots of fun from beginning to end. It's really funny. And I like how it's a time travel movie where it doesn't get too bogged down in time travel logic.
Yeah.
It tells you the rules. Okay, we're going to go. And it's just fun.
Like, personally, though, I think a case could have been made in terms of Oscar category for editing. Because if the editing in that movie did not work, that film would have fallen apart, because the editing in that movie is what progresses the story, because it's like you have these repeating days, and the film seamlessly just keeps you in tune with what's going on because of the editing. It's like, oh, this is like the 500th time he's tried this, but you didn't have to show it to me 500 times.
And it's not one of those like super dark or gritty.
Oh, it's
it has
funny
a lot of
as hell.
It has a lot of comedic moments to it. That's one thing I really liked about it. And also, the special effects in the movie are
phenomenal.
Yeah, like
that beach scene where they come down and he's like
most
spinning
of that's
in the
practical.
I know.
Of it is.
Yeah, I didn't know that until we started looking at clips behind the scenes.
Well, that's the thing. It's directed by Doug Liman, who did The Born Identity.
Right, and he's very practical.
Right.
So, and I really enjoyed that aspect, because you don't see many like big budget action movies going that practical.
It's very
sci-fi.
Or sci-fi at least. Yeah. Like the mech suits are real, like they're actually walking in these mech suits and stuff, and it's amazing. Awesome. It's really cool. It's like it feels like a video game at points,
right?
Because you're just like, I love every minute of this. It's like this is a full scale war. There's bullets flying everywhere, and it's just a lot of fun.
And also, Emily Blunt is actually a good female character.
You could have nominated
a strong female character in a movie. What?
Yeah, it's like
it's crazy.
Yeah, she's not like some secretary this time.
Yeah,
she's actually
she's not like Letty in Fast and the Furious.
But yeah, the movie kind of bombed at the box office, sadly. But if you haven't seen the movie, please do, because
great film.
It's awesome. It's a great time.
And that's what I love about it, is because it's a summer blockbuster that flew under the radar, but it has Oscar level like technical aspects of it. I mean, you could even make an argument for Emily Blunt for Best Actress.
I would switch out Winter Soldier for that as far as visual effects.
I would too, because like Winter Soldier, their effects is phenomenal. But it's like
it's very minimal.
Exactly, it's like
more of a political thriller. With
you
Marvel.
don't know. It's not very apparent that those are special and visual effects.
Whereas
where you have Edge of Tomorrow, it's like 75% of it is visual effects,
including Tom Cruise looking young.
Yeah, it's weird, and they fix his teeth digitally. So that's good.
All right, well, we're gonna move on to the next movie, which is John Wick.
I lost everything. That dog was a final gift from my dying wife.
Jonathan, you got out once. You dip so much as a pinky back into this pond, you may find something reaching out to pull you back in.
It's personal.
Where'd you get that car?
What does it matter?
It's not what you did, son. It's who you did it to.
Ooh. Now, for me, John Wick was one of my favorite films of the year, and it's one of my favorite action films in recent memory. American action films, at least, because
you can actually see the action.
Yes. Like, the thing I loved about this movie is you got Keanu Reeves there, who hasn't had much work in a long time, and then you just, these stuntmen directing the movie just pick him up and say, okay, do your thing, because they worked with him before on The Matrix.
Yeah.
And they just put Keanu, who's 50, crazy. Yeah,
He's
like 50.
immortal.
Yeah,
He's immortal. He's a vampire.
He's Highlander.
Oh my god. He's the one.
yeah. But they just throw Keanu in this movie, and he does like pretty much all of his own stunts.
It's surgical, the movie.
Yeah,
it is
yeah.
headshot the movie.
It is.
And the thing that really works for you is you always see his face in the action scenes. It's just like pop, 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 and you usually it's not behind him like a lot of action movies nowadays are.
It's
where
in
like,
his face.
It's in his face, and he's actually doing these stunts, and it really draws you into the film and really like makes it more believable, even though it's.
Well, it's an hour and 40 minutes long,
And
so
it has
it's a
the
really
simplest
brisk
plot.
Exactly.
That's why it works.
One of the things I love about it is that it's sort of a throwback to the way thrillers were made in the 70s with these sort of like silent hitmen type characters.
Yeah.
Where you have like these sort of simplistic stories that are kind of like thrown to the wayside in the first 20 minutes, and the rest is just kind of badassery.
Yeah.
And I love the world that it builds, because you really before Keanu even like commits to his first action scene, you really get a sense of just how effective of an anti-hero John Wick is, but how everyone talks about him. Oh man, it's John Wick.
Right.
It's not like, Boogeyman. He's the guy who killed the Boogeyman.
Yeah.
Like, whoa.
Yeah. It's like I love it because the plot line is they killed his dog, and he's gonna go and murder them for killing his dog.
Exactly.
All right, and it's like okay,
it's more than that.
It's more than that, but at the ground floor, it's like
Well,
they
coming
killed
from
his dog.
someone who's seen it twice now, I have to say, like, I feel like an underrated aspect of the movie is the soundtrack. I feel like
the soundtrack
delivers,
is amazing.
it delivers like sort of like that cool, like grungy, like grit to it.
A lot of it reminded me of the French Connection, like the car chase and stuff.
Yes.
And I was like, huh, that's really cool. And I love the world they build, because they could do an entire movie about that hotel that he stays in alone.
Right. It's like it's like the grid of the French Connection meets a graphic novel.
Yeah, it really is. It's like they built a comic book movie without it trying to be a comic book movie.
John Wick's a superhero.
Well, yeah, he is.
He is.
It's like Superman, John Wick. Like, I mean, if we're talking in terms of film,
Right.
but that's okay. So yeah, go check out John Wick. It's amazing.
Yeah, it's one of the best action films in years. The choreography is great.
All the fight scenes are beautiful.
Yeah, it's
Beautifully
beautiful to
shot.
watch. Like, go see it. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, and then for our last film that we're going to talk about is the horror movie The Babadook, starring Essie Davis.
It's just a book. It can't hurt you.
Hardly anyone has heard of that movie.
Yeah, not very many people heard about it.
Sadly.
Yeah, I showed these two. I watched it over the Christmas break, and I instantly loved the movie. I thought it was an instant horror movie classic, and just for the things it does in the movie, it just works so well, in my opinion. And I think that Essie Davis, the lead in this movie, she should have gotten a Best Actress nomination, because she does a great job in the movie. When you feel like it, the thing I love about The Babadook is that it's an atypical monster movie, but instead of it being just some random monster or demon thing, it's a very, very personal story about this mother and her child, and just the torment between the two. And just like, I love it how it starts off with you hating the kid in the beginning, but it just gradually flips it on its head, and just like, I don't want to spoil anything, but
Yeah.
Well, the graduality of it, I think, comes from the fact that you do have the mom, Essie Davis, and her son in the movie.
Right.
And they're both great.
Oh, yeah,
It's
yeah.
like
You
the
gotta
kid
do a
actor
great
was
job.
Normally,
phenomenal.
I hate child actors
You
because
do.
they're annoying to me. Sometimes, like there was some kids, like the kid in Real Steel, I just didn't like, and then there's Jake Lloyd from The Phantom Menace, who's just a marvel of acting.
Aside from that, Angel.
Yeah, but yeah, the kid's really good.
But yeah, it goes back to what horror, I believe, is supposed to be, or at least how it was made sort of in the 80s,
Right.
where it's supposed to be a real manifestation of fear and a manifestation of personal doubt and etc. And that's exactly what The Babadook is.
Right.
And I feel like the way this director plays upon that is so brilliant.
See, I love it because, like, as the big horror junkie that I am, you know what I mean? It's personally, I think it is one of the best horror films made probably in the last 20 years, because it is a movie that relies on no jump scares.
yeah, there's
There's
literally
not
like
a single jump
there's
scare.
like maybe one.
Like, I've heard some people complain, they're like, it's too boring because nothing jumps out at me. And I'm like, that's a horrible argument. Because horror is supposed to affect you emotionally, not physically, right? True. So this whole movie is, you're learning about this backstory of these two characters and what happened. And as that's happening and you're learning about it, you see the torment that they went through. And as the torment goes through, that's when things really start to escalate. And it's such a psychological torment. And it was the first time I had been scared in a movie in a long time. Like, I never jump. And you watched it with me. You saw me jump very high at one moment. And it takes a lot for that to happen with me. Mm-hmm. And so that's why I really respect this movie, because it breaks the mold of
recent horror fare.
Yeah, where it's like, as much as I love The Conjuring, it still has those jump scares. You know what I mean? It's like, it still has those pop-out moments. This is like more in tune with The Shining, where it's all in your head. It's all complete psychological. It's Nightmare on Elm Street, yeah. And that's why I love it, because we don't have as many of these psychological horror movies come out. The horror has kind of become this cash grab where it's like, oh, The Conjuring was great, so let's make Annabelle, which I didn't even go see, because I heard it was trash.
Yeah, we saw the equalizer and stuff.
Yeah, so I mean, it's like, it was so refreshing to have, even if it's a foreign film, have a film come out and just break this mold of just cash-grabbing garbage.
Especially on a directorial debut.
Exactly, for his first movie, like, I will see probably most of his stuff by now. Or her, sorry, my bad. But, like...
Yeah, 2014 was a great year for directorial debuts.
It really was. Like, I was...
This Whiplash, like...
Yeah, it's pretty crazy because, it's the 20th year anniversary since 1994, which is arguably the best year in cinema.
One of the best.
One of the best, yeah. So it's like... It's really cool to see 20 years from now on the 4, we have all these great classics.
Year of indie fare and lots of like underground fare.
Right,
so.
like, and not even just the underground stuff, but you also had the big blockbusters, which were breaking the mold.
Yeah, consistently entertaining stuff.
Like Apes and Enter Tomorrow, Babadook,
Cap.
John Wick, Cap, Guardians of the Galaxy. They brought back the space opera.
Right.
Like, it's just been, overall... 2014 has been probably one of the best years in film I've ever experienced since I've been alive.
Yeah, I would say so.
Yeah,
since I've been alive, it's probably one of the best, if not the best year for films.
But 2015 is going to be crazy.
This is going to be the year of the blockbuster.
Yeah, it is.
Certainly.
Star Wars, Avengers,
new Terminator, new Fast and the
Spectre,
Furious.
new Fast and the Furious.
Yeah.
Like, I cannot wait.
Ted 2.
Jurassic World.
Ted 2. Jurassic World. I can't wait.
Yeah.
Okay, so right now, just to quick end it, most anticipated movie 2015.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars.
Star Wars. There we go. All right, Star Wars. Woo!
All right, well, thanks for watching our video. Please like, favorite, and subscribe our video. It really helps us out. And
follow us on Twitter at adequaterejects. Not .com, just Adequate Rejects. That's our name.
So, well, thanks for watching.